was kind of getting to the point where we've seen this shift from, and we've seen it totally now from riders that were senior for a long time. We've seen in, the Christian Van der Velde, Mike Barry era, experience was really, really valued. Those
Mm,
riders who were 32, 33 plus years of age, they
yeah,
were gems to have in your team. They were your marquee riders. You'd been waiting a decade to get them to that point and matured them like a wine. And then
yeah,
we've seen this shift where it's like totally data driven nearly. And we're seeing 19-year-olds, oh, he's never done a race, but he's putting out some cool numbers. We'll take a punt on him over
yeah,
the 33-year-old who's done 15 Grand Tours.
yeah, yeah. And it was probably, the timing of that was, made things a little more difficult. But then Katusha liked the experience side of things. And it's that moment I realised I wasn't a young rider with a bucket load of potential as well, and potential's big.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the level. Like, I'm as a youngster, when you go to your first Grand Tour and win a very long TT straight off the bat, you're like, that trajectory is this, and it's going to remain this.
Yeah.
And then Katusha contract, I was like, maybe that trajectory is this now, and that's fine. That's fine. Probably not going to win the Tour de France like I thought maybe I could, but I've done some cool stuff. But yeah, the Katusha was great because they were eager, keen. They're like, we want Alex. And then the merger happened with Israel, and I had a contract, so that was messy, but ultimately I went with the license to Israel. And then that last contract was a pretty horrible experience. I did a great job, like that whole experience thing. I did a great job early on, and it was COVID year, so I did like Tour Down Under, tour of UAE tour, and immediately afterwards, I was told by the team, like, yeah, you are on a list of riders that are going to be re-signed. And then during COVID, just watched all of my teammates get contract extensions, and silence to me on my manager. And then it got really late in the year. Went to the Giro in October after receiving like the letter that the UCI say that teams have to send if a team is not going to renew you, on the 31st of September, to say we're not going to renew you, with a phone call to say we still might, but there's only 2 spots left in the team now. And I was like, wow, like, okay, great, shit, like, not, it's not really news. You just sort of, I'm still being left in limbo, and it's not like I could go, well, screw you guys, I'm just not going to re-sign, because I wasn't ready to not be a bike racer again, and I didn't have any other options. And then stage 8 of the Giro happened.
Back against the wall, pulls it out.
And that was, it did force their hand, but I'd like to think without forcing that hand, I was like, I just won like the first World Tour race you guys have ever won. I've just found the first Grand Tour stage you guys have ever won. Like, you got riders here like Dan Martin and Woodsy, and Frumi's on the way, and like I've won that, like, or me and Matthias Brandley have won that. And yeah, so then took a few days, but then an offer came in. It wasn't a good offer because my back was against the wall, but I was like, right, another 2 years. And then I think what then set me up well to retire is Chanel and I prepared to stop. We were like, okay, this is possibly going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be ready for this. We'd moved countries to improve my cycling. We'd moved to Andorra, moved from a nice house to a 55 square meter apartment on the top of a mountain. Had a baby on the way. We're like, right, we're scrambling a bit here, but we can make this work. And she was like incredibly supportive. Felt for me, felt for us. I felt for her. But we prepared ourselves, and then got the contract through 2 more years of racing. But when contract renewal time came up again, manager asked around, and I was much more philosophical about it all. I think I spent those last couple of years, the last 4 or 5 years, really investing everything, time, money, effort, into being the best version of Alex Dowsett, the cyclist, as I could possibly be. And that was, that made stopping really easier, because really easy because I don't think I could have been better.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to keep binge watching the content, check this video. It's a cracker. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way I can catch you in the next one. See you then.